Hi guys, Con here. So right now I'm in Setia City, and we are preparing to depart for the media test drive of the new facelifted Ford Ranger. Okay, right here you can see these are the Raptor variants, and you have the Wild Track and the XLT variants. So the new Ranger now gets a 2-liter bi-turbo engine, making a high amount of horsepower, which I'm going to put down in the description section below. Yeah, so I will be in the Raptors there, and my destination today will be Bentong. These other XLTs and Wild Tracks, they will all be split into various different locations. I think there's one group going to Kuantan, one group going to Ipoh, another group going to PD. So each of these groups of my media friends will be experiencing different variants of the Ford Ranger to different destinations. Alright guys, so here we have the Ranger XLT Plus, and here we have the Raptor. Okay, now let me just step this side. So you see this looks relatively flat, right? And if you step here, you see the Raptor has a wider body than the standard XLT. I mean, you look at this, you see this here, the taillights, right? You see this, the metal actually bulges out, and here you have this line running down. Okay, so it gives you that it is a design cue that is supposed to communicate rearward power from the car. And you see the front. Okay, let's see the front. The front wheel arch also actually bulges out. Let's show you from the front end. Okay, you see here, the headlights, it comes out, it bulges out. This one does not. This one is just flush. So yeah, if you are thinking of buying a standard Ranger, or if you have a current one of these regular Rangers, you want to convert to this, not so easy, man. Not so easy. Yes. Alright, so here's Chris V, okay, from piston.my. Guys, before we continue, subscribe to piston.my. Subscribe to Chris V, okay?
Watch this. This is the new hydraulic tailgate. You know how heavy these things are?
Yes.
Fast, right?
Yes.
So I'm holding a cup of coffee, and I'm just going to use one finger.
One finger, see.
Ta-da!
Oh!
One finger.
So they actually the tailgate mechanism has some
Hydraulic thing inside
has
there.
a hydraulic thingamajig inside there that
You have to hold it though when it comes down.
Yeah.
When you crash,
Yeah.
But it's so light now.
Yeah,
it
it
just
is.
Unbelievable.
It is.
In
It
the
is.
previous Raptor, you have to use 2 hands because this tailgate is so heavy.
Really, yeah?
Seriously.
Let's try it with one of these. This one. Okay lah, this one has a bit more weight to it. All right.
Yeah, look, one hand on the coffee, one hand on the tailgate.
Nice. It's like those soft touch
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
closings.
Look at that. Amazing.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, anytime,
Thank
bro.
you. So Chris will be joining me for this drive to Bentong.
Yep. Bentong, no Bentong.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So right now I'm on the cargo bed of the Raptor, and you know, car makers right nowadays, we all talk about, wow, my car inside got how many cup holder. Recently there was the Toyota Rush that was boasting about 13 cup holders inside the cabin. Well, the Ranger, the Raptor here, takes it to a new level by putting a cup holder here at the edge of the cargo bed. And of course, another feature of note here with the Raptor, okay, but this was already in the Wild Track before this. You have a 12-volt socket right here, complete with a water-resistant cover. Alright, so if you need to charge anything outside the vehicle on the move, this is it. Right, getting ready to hit the road with Mr. Wee here.
Sup, yo?
Sup? Okay. So Chris, our first stop will be
BHP Bentong.
Hi guys, this is Matt from Portan.
Hi.
Matt, am I going to appear on Portan?
Of course you are. Me too? Wow! Cool! Have fun, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.
See you, Matt. Yeah. Alright guys, we are at Lentang on our way towards Bentong, and we have the two units of the Raptor here parked side by side while my media colleagues here take their photographs. That's Mr. Wee there. And yeah, so Chris V and we arrived in the grey car. There's also this blue unit here. Yeah, I shall stay out of the shot while my friends take their photographs. Yeah, so just from here, the side view, give you a side profile of the blue unit. So you see that they have that all those stickers there on the truck bed, so it adds to a feeling, a more aggressive look of the car. And you notice that the cargo bed does not have a bull bar like the XLT or the Wild Track models. Okay, and you notice, in addition to the wide body, right, the wheel arches are also added with extra chunky claddings. And these tires, the tires are also heavier duty tires. These are not the highway terrain tires. These are all terrain tires from BF Goodrich. So this car is set up ready not only for performance but also for some serious off-roading. Okay, so you see at the back there, just below the bumper, there are two hooks. Unusual for a pickup, not common for a pickup. The rear brakes are discs. Okay, all other pickups in the market use rear drums. The Raptor here has discs. And these side steps, check out these side steps. Very, very heavy. Look, they feel very heavy duty. They feel very solid. I'm going to step on it. I mean, these side steps, right, look like they can take another 5 or 10 people, without any problems. This is properly solid. A lot of heavy duty stuff here. And also the and you see at the back, okay, the rear axle is not leaf sprung. It has coil springs. Okay, see the coil springs there, like the Navara. So you have a coil spring, you have coil springs there, and you have a torsion bar. Okay, function as a trailing arm, holding the live axle in place. Check out this suspension. This is proper rugged heavy duty suspension. Okay, so the argument of coil springs versus leaf springs when it comes to pickup trucks. Leaf springs give superior loading capability. With leaf springs you can carry heavier loads, also leaf springs are more durable. They are practically maintenance free. Coil springs are subject to a greater rate of wear and tear, but the advantage is that you get better comfort, you get better suspension travel. So when you go serious off-roading, coil springs will enable the wheels, okay, to touch the ground more often on uneven terrain. So I've driven the car from Setia City Convention Center all the way here to Lentang, and I'll be passing the wheel over to Chris after this. So just to give you some quick first impressions, this car, right, given its appearance, the driving experience is surprisingly refined. Okay, and the engine being a 2-liter bi-turbo, I was expecting a bit of lag, but it turns out that it is very punchy. Okay, the lag is very well contained, so when you step on it, it goes. The road holding of this truck also is fantastic. It doesn't feel crazy car-like like the Mitsubishi Triton. The Triton is still unnaturally car-like, and I mean that with praise. The Raptor here, there's still a bit of ruggedness to it, but it quite closely matches the Triton's refinement and comfort level. Yeah, but overall, this is thus far the driving experience is fantastic. High speeds, bend on the highways, stability is excellent. Yeah, thus far nothing to complain about. Oh, it has a 10-speed automatic transmission. Transmission is smooth shifting. It is the same gearbox shared with the Ford Mustang, of course with some changes lah. So yeah, the transmission is crazy smooth shifting, right? Barely feel the changes as you move. So very, very refined car, drives very well on the highways. Okay, so now my friends are done with the photos. Allow me to bring you on a closer look. So the headlight units are the same as the regular Ranger, but now you get LED DRLs, projector headlamps, halogen projector headlamps, I believe. Let me just switch on the headlights to check. You know, it's white wall. LED headlamps. You get this special Ford grille here. This is the sporty version of the Ford pickup truck grille. You get a more aggressive bumper cladding altogether. Yep, BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. So this car is built ready for off-road. You get this vent here. I can't tell whether is it cosmetic or functional. Okay, you get this chunky wheel arch, and all this matte finish on the door handles. Okay, so the tail lights. Okay, we follow European specs, so we get rear fog lamps, and the inside here is black finished. Take a closer look at these tow hooks. Feel solid. Got the Raptor badge. Got reverse cam. Stunning looking car. So both these cars right now, the interior is filled with things from us four men. But I'll just show you. Give you a quick look. So here's the unit that Chris and I arrived in. Okay, in the as you can. So just show you the seats first. These are sporty seats with thicker bolsters at the side. You get this Raptor words stitched here on the seat back. This Alcantara. So it's a nice contrast of materials of Alcantara and leather. I shall step inside and this switch. Okay, this switch activates a little light here at the bottom of the third brake light. So at night you can switch on this light to illuminate your cargo bed. All this was introduced already in 2015 with the first Ranger facelift. So here's a look at the door card, right? So you have this nice chunky materials here. So the Ranger's design has always appealed in the sense that it is able to blend an outward appearance of ruggedness with sophistication. So here is this latest update of the Ranger's cabin. Here's the instrument cluster. Let me just close the driver's door properly. Alright, so you get the multi-info display at the center. I like Ford's 4-quadrant setup that allows you to simultaneously display all information at a glance. Okay, you don't have to, like in many cars, cycle through average speed, range, available, consumption, or Ford shows you this in one screen, and I've always appreciated that. So you see here below, this is the gear shift indicator. I quite like the way it shows. So all these elements are illuminated, and as you shift between the gears, it just changes with it just highlights your current position with a red, with a very uniform looking red light. Very nice. The dials also look very nice. And here, check this out. The steering has this center marking here. Steering mounted controls, cruise control. All right. Check this out. You get gear shift pedal shifters, metal pedal shifters. Feel very solid, very chunky. Okay, and you get the touch screen in the middle. Volume control knob, auto dual zone climate control. And down here, so you get a 12-volt socket and 2 USB ports. Stability control, diff lock, hill descent assist. Okay, shift on the fly 4x4 system. Okay, check out this blue stitching also. It adds the performance. This nice detail here adds a more performance-oriented touch. You get these molded cup holders. Center console box. Inside here, this center console box has a vent here that allows you to cool the contents of the center console box. Useful. Glove box inside. Okay, so you see from here the side sills have this Ford Performance welcome steps here. Very nice. Okay, so here at the back, loaded with all our barang-barang. I will show you once I reach. Once we unload the car, I'll show you the back seat again. But just to highlight, you do get. This is very a useful feature to highlight. You get a 12-volt socket here, and you get this 230-volt 3.3 pin plug here. This I think is very useful, and I think the way it's shaped, this hole is shaped right. You can take international sockets plugs in, no problem. I think Australia format you can muscle, US format you can muscle. Yeah, useful, properly useful. Yeah, but I'll have to show you the available room later once all these things are unloaded. Alright guys, so we have Chris behind the wheel now.
Goodness.
And he's taking the sweeping bends along Kara.
Okay, I'm doing about 120, 130, 140, and there's no squeal coming from the tires. There's no horrible undulations like that. You know, the truck's gonna feel like it's gonna bounce its way off the road.
So we are approaching this sweeping bend area. Well, this is nothing lah. This bend.
This one is nothing.
This is nothing.
You don't feel it at all.
Okay, there's one more. So we've got a long straight here. Chris is doing a certain speed which I will not be disclosing on video. Alright, so okay, so this nice sweeping bend,
No problem.
truck's taking it, no squeals whatsoever. Okay, this is a short one. But I think that one would be is a longer one, right?
This is a longer sweeper to the right.
So it's a longer right sweeper. Let's see. Oh, see that? Chris is nicely clipping the apex.
Amazing. I have to keep reminding myself this is a 2-ton truck.
Yeah, and the best part is, right, it's not at all uncomfortable, you know.
Nope.
So the suspension compromise is, it seems pretty well judged. Saw that. Oh, racing line,
No cars around, man.
But actually racing line is the safest way to take a corner fast, yeah. But of course you have to check all the surroundings and make sure that there's no car on the other
You don't
lane.
want to makan something.
Yeah.
And if it's a double white line in the middle, don't do it.
Oh, don't. Alright guys, we have arrived at lunch. And this is well, the question is, can a Raptor fit through this narrow path?
It's a very narrow gate.
Yeah, but it's okay. I trust Chris Wee's piloting skills to get us in. Okay. No problem,
No problem lah.
Kacang putih. Oh my god, that is tight, man, bro. That is properly tight. Okay, you have to watch that.
Yeah.
Watch that. You clear this one. Okay, you're good.
No problem for the Raptor.
No problem.
Lots and lots of low end torque.
I think the terrain is not the problem. It's just a question of whether there's enough space or not.
And that building looks abandoned. No, it's open.
Alright, lunchtime. Alright guys, we are here for lunch at this place called Pinto Coffee. I do not know how our event organizers found this place, but it looks charming. Lunch is done. Time to hit the road again. Chris is still driving, and I think we are going straight to our resort in Bentong. Alright, hi Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Ready to hit the road again?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, so
hill descent control now.
we are going down the slope. Chris has activated hill descent control. You can see on the instrument cluster there's that orange, that amber indicator light there. Right, here's where you activate hill descent control. And you see foot not on brake and throttle, just jalan ni, slow and steady.
Just steer. Watch where you're going. You can actually hear the wheels catching and letting go.
Yeah. Oh, S-Max! My favorite MPV. Okay, I think this may be my next car.
AKA the Sex Max.
So, yeah, now we are continuing our journey to Bentong. Chris is having a fantastically good time
Really.
exploring the dynamic limits of the Raptor's chassis. Look at him carve this corner. Oh my god.
It's just handling like you know, you don't feel like you're driving a 2-ton truck.
Exactly. Hey, the body control is amazing.
Really amazing. Coil springs at the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to mention disc brakes.
Yeah.
And of course the Fox Motorsports shock absorbers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those definitely help.
And it's amazingly comfortable, eh?
It is.
Amazingly comfortable, eh?
It's like luxury SUV already.
Yeah.
But in a big truck.
Yeah.
A big, tough looking truck.
Amazing. Wow, look at this. Woo!
No problems.
Oh. You know most pickups, right? This kind of roads, you drive like this, right? Sure screech and scream for what?
Not feeling it at all. And it's a narrow road.
Yeah, it's a narrow road.
This truck is taking the full lane
at a very decent clip.
Yeah. The NVH also is just amazing.
Very quiet, huh? Very quiet.
Very quiet. For a truck.
Wind noise is very well muted.
Yep.
Undercarriage noise also very well muted.
No rattles, no scuttle shake.
It just feels very well put together.
Very much,
Very
well put together. And these trucks are from Thailand.
Yeah.
The Rayong plant.
Oh, they make good stuff in Thailand.
They do. They really do.
Oh, see that? See that?
Big bump in the middle of the corner didn't unsettle the truck.
Oh, yeah.
It just kept on its track.
Alright guys, so you see this is an empty stretch or an empty space. Okay, just now Chris did some drifting action which I captured on camera, but I so high I go and press delete and poor Chris has to do it again.
The things we go through.
Hey, sorry bro, sorry for the trouble.
Let's do
Okay, let's do it. Alright, yes, yes. Oh yes, yes. Guys, so next route of our activity, we have checked into the hotel. Now we have come out again. This is somewhere about 30 odd kilometers from where we're staying. Our activity now will be to take these two monsters off-road. I'm handing the wheel back to Chris and I'll be holding the camera. Okay, so time to go off-road. Chris is behind the wheel again.
I am.
Yeah, and let's see where they are bringing us. Okay, so we are leaving
Terra
tarmac.
Firma.
Yeah, and going into, well, not roads. You know, after looking at the Raptor for the whole day, right, suddenly that Ranger, which before this was still a handsome looking car, now suddenly looks quite plain. Oh.
Yep.
Oh my god. That is a steep slope. I know it probably doesn't look that way on the camera, but that is a steep slope.
And we're not going up there.
Okay, we're not going there. Damn!
You got your hopes up too soon.
But I think
I think you can.
I think it can go.
Yeah,
I think it can.
So much low end torque.
Just put 4L, gently nudge it up. What's the feeling like over there?
Oh, it's very, very good. Yeah, it's really smooth and soaking up all the bumps really well.
Oh yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, this looks like a lovely spot for us for some activities.
Delinquent behavior. Oh, it's okay. The organizers in front of us, so we better.
Yeah, so we'll be good boys.
We'll be good boys.
We'll be good boys.
For now.
Yeah. Oh, that's a decently steep slope.
Mm.
Doesn't look that way on the screen, but I can assure you it's properly steep. So you cannot even see the ground, man. It's only seeing the sky. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, let's try out there. Hill descent control again.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Let's show pedals. Chris is not operating the pedals. The car is descending. No fuss whatsoever. And yeah, he's up there.
Nice, very nice.
I'm gonna wind this down and see our friends in the other Raptor.
Hill hold assist.
Not bad. Right, that's the other Raptor. Guys, what you see there is the two Raptors being reversed up a 45-degree slope.
I can't even walk down this slope. Shit!
Yep. Chris, do remember you have to walk up back later, you know.
I'm just gonna shoot you and then I will drive down. I'm not gonna walk down this.
Alright guys, so as shown earlier, the two Raptors are backed up a slope 45 degrees. Okay, it's a 45-degree slope and it's time to head down. In fact, this slope is so, what's the word for it? Steep that I can't pull my seat belts. So I'm gonna have to go down this slope with no seat belts.
Yeah, but we're gonna use hill descent control.
We've got hill descent control.
Which is this, and it comes on there,
Yep.
and it's ready.
Yeah.
And all Con has to do is put it into gear and let his foot off the brake.
Yeah.
So we go.
Okay.
Hill descent control is
Hill
on.
descent control on.
Let your foot off the brake.
Foot off the brake. No safety belt.
Don't touch any of the pedals. Don't touch any of the pedals.
Okay.
And just steer.
Yep.
Nope, still cannot.
Still cannot.
So just steer till you get to level ground.
Yeah.
What's happened is the inertia reel seatbelt has the inertia reel has actually turned and locked it in place.
You know, right? It's so unnerving. You know, even at this speed, less than 10 clicks per hour, it's so unnerving not to be able to put on the seat belts.
There you go.
I don't know how some people can actually drive on the road without seat belts. To me, right, it's just frightening, man.
No, that's very, very frightening.
It's frightening, man.
Okay, so now Con's gonna drive off-road.
Right, guys, so we just emerged from the off-road session. The Raptor passed this part of the evaluation with, I would say, flying colors. All right, it wasn't a particularly challenging one for the car's ability, right? But it does demonstrate the robustness of its underpinnings. Okay, so the terrain that we experienced were mostly this kind of soil, hard soil, settled. Okay, not particularly slippery, and so it provided good grip. And plus the fact that our cars, because the Raptor has all-terrain tires, so grip was never a concern. We used 4H all the way, but I believe even for much of the off-road stretch, 2H would have sufficed. There was no need to engage 4L. Some stretches, okay, the gradient was rather steep, so that was a good test of both the grip of the tires as well as the low end pulling power of the engine. Because what is important, all right, for 4x4s is that when you go off-road, when you scale a steep slope, you want to be able to do it with a minimum number of revs so as not to induce wheel spin. So the Raptor passed that no problem. Okay, the engine was worked in a relaxed fashion. The gearing was good. Car went up all the slopes, descended the slopes effectively with the help of hill descent control. So all was good. Anyways, we are now progressing to the next part of our itinerary. Okay, so I've just donned this helmet, and now we are being made to sit on this ATVs. Alright guys, so our activity today is ATVs, right? And well, this is really, this had actually very little to do with the Raptor, but I can tell you it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun because for me, this is my first time riding this. I also don't have experience riding motorcycle, right? So this experience to me is fucking bonkers. Guys, you should try. This is something you should try. All right, if those of you adventurous outdoor types, I suppose target customers of the Ranger, or even if you are not, this is something definitely worth trying as a weekend activity. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's a good de-stressing exercise. So because just now I was busy riding, it wouldn't have been safe for me to handle the cameras. So maybe later in a separate video, after I collect the footage from the event organizers, I'll share that in my channel on a separate video. Morning guys, day 2 of our test drive event with the new Ford Ranger. Okay, here I am in this little hut which I spent the night. And so the idea of this media drive is that Ford wanted to put all of us through the kind of lifestyle that would appeal to potential new owners of the Ranger, and in my particular case, owners of the Raptor. Okay, so here's a look at the hut that I spent the day. So to recap, yesterday we drove the Ranger from Setia City, okay, all the way up here to Bentong, and along the way we had lunch at some hut-like kind of place, also very close to nature. Then we experienced the Raptor on a mile off-road course, and followed by what you could say unrelated to the car, but perhaps on a lifestyle perspective, what Ford wants to offer to the consumers. So we did we tried out ATVs, okay, all-terrain vehicles. So it's just to perhaps communicate the message that the Raptor is a rugged truck for an adventurous lifestyle. So today, now it's 8 a.m. We are going to drive back. Okay, go breakfast first lah. Gonna have breakfast. Then we'll be driving back to Setia City, where we'll be attending the launch of the new Ranger. Okay, at this stage, what's going to happen today is that Ford will be launching the new updated Ranger. after which then they'll be announcing prices of the XLT and the Wild Track variants. The Raptor today, okay, is it's not going to be launched. We got a chance to test drive it, but they are going to officially launch the Raptor and announce the pricing of the Raptor at the upcoming KL Motor Show. Right, so indicative pricing of the Raptor is thereabouts of 200,000 ringgit. So this vehicle is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So along the way, back to Satya City later, I will be filming a bit of my driving impressions of the car, and also I have not forgotten, I need to still show you the what is it like in the back seat of the vehicle. So here's to show you the surroundings of our villa. Okay, got river or stream there. Okay, a lot of nature. So those of you nature lovers, you like to be surrounded by greens. Well, this is not a bad getaway spot. You don't have Wi-Fi in your room, so it's a good place to isolate yourself from civilization. Alright guys, so we are getting ready to head back to Satya City, but before that, let's have a look inside the back seat of the car. Now this is here, just to show you the amount of space available. The Ranger is definitely one of the more spacious trucks in the market. This was the truck that, when the original Ranger T6 was launched in 2012, this truck redefined segment standards in terms of technology as well as cabin space. Right, so they have put up the seat belts. Let me just unbuckle this. Okay, 3-point belt here, mounted on the body. Okay, so here are the armrests. Got 2 molded cup holders, and you can see here again closely what I showed you before this. 12-volt socket and a 3-point plug. So I will show you the shape of the plug more closely. As you can see, right, the way this is this shape here. Okay, this enables the this enables this slot here to be able to take Australian plugs, to take American plugs, and all that. Yeah, so very versatile, very useful if you want to take this car off-road and away from civilization, and you have a ton of devices to power up. So let me turn you around. Okay, so here I am, alright, seated here. I'm 170 centimeters tall. I've got this much of headroom. Leg room is pretty good. It's actually pretty comfortable, Okay, I've looking down here, I've got decent leg room. Okay, the seat here is indented inside, so let me take this umbrella out. So it frees the extra bit of room right here, and the angle of the seat cushion, okay, it angles up, so what you get is you get good thigh support for long distance drives. Very useful. And of course here you have isofix mounts that okay, it's very easy to locate, convenient. Yep. The other side, nothing else fancy here at the back. Guys, those people there checking the car out, they are just other guests of the villa. You can see this Raptor is indeed quite a crowd puller. Okay guys, just to show you a bit more what's under the car. Okay, so you can see this, you've got 2 extra hooks here. Okay, these are very sturdy hooks, and you've got this undercarriage plate. Oh, this is metal, man. Okay, so this is seriously rugged stuff. Check out those Fox Sports absorbers. So this is not just a Ranger with a body kit. Okay, this Raptor variant of the Ranger has serious engineering enhancements built into this car. It runs on a different chassis to the standard Ranger. Yeah, so it carries the Ranger nameplate, but Ford has done quite a bit of work on this car, and yeah, based on the indicative pricing of 200,000 ringgit, yeah, it is expensive. It is not cheap, but what we can tell you is they have put effort into this truck to earn that premium over the regular Ranger. Alright, so we've just hit the Karak highway. Chris has absconded into another vehicle that leaves me alone with this baby here. Alright, not complaining. So the Raptor, okay, the last 2 days with this car has been very, very enlightening. Okay, this truck, right, is a game changer. Okay, let me just take you back on a bit of history. 2 decades ago, when Ford first brought the Courier into our market, that was the truck that made pickup trucks, okay, accessible to private buyers, because up until then, pickup trucks were used really for just workhorse, for contractors, shop owners, palm oil estates, and all these people with things to carry. It is with the Courier, that is the predecessor of the Ranger, that Ford put into the public consciousness that, hey guys, it is possible to use pickup trucks as a lifestyle vehicle. Okay, then the Ranger came in, and so yeah, Ford had that initial wave of success with the Ranger, but after that soon came, the Mitsubishi Storm la, the Hilux la, the Frontier, and all that. Of course, since in the last 2 decades or so, the pickup truck has come to be dominated by the Toyota Hilux. So much so that whether you turn up in a D-Max or a Ranger or a Triton or a Navara, people will say, hey, that one your Hilux ah. I'm sure East Malaysian customers especially will know what I'm talking about. The Hilux has become has over the years become the best selling pickup in the market. But in 2012, Ford introduced the Ranger T6. Okay, that Ranger set new standards once again in what we have come to expect of pickup trucks. The Ranger T6 was the truck that raised our expectations of features and refinement levels that one could expect from a pickup. Because at that time, when they launched the Ranger T6, Ford made a lot of noise about their voice command la, and their Ford Sync la, and all that things that that you don't even get in a passenger car. Ford put it in the Ranger, and slowly after that, everybody else upped their game. All right, so you look at the current generation of pickups, the current Hilux, the current D-Max, the current Triton, the current Navara. Each of these have their unique selling points, but it was the Ranger that was the first to market that raised consumer expectations of a pickup. Now we come to the Raptor here. So at an estimated price of 200,000 ringgit, this thing is not cheap. You could spend the same amount of money on a BMW 3 Series. Now Ford is asking you to put that money on a Ranger. Makes sense, huh? Let me put it this way, my driving impressions of this car, right? The Ranger here, the Raptor rather, what it feels like if you compare this to a regular Ranger, it is like coming from a BMW 330i and hopping into an M3. It is that kind of difference, and it shows in the underpinnings. The chassis setup of this car is almost entirely different. They re-engineered the axles, they re-engineered the suspension, the transmission, okay, the ratios and the programming of the 10-speed transmission between this and the Wildtrak, totally different. Okay, so Ford put in, so this Raptor is not just a body kit with a badge. This Raptor actually gets significant engineering enhancements to its underpinnings. All right, and that is where your money goes to. The Fox shock absorbers, the re-engineered coil springs, the Watts linkage, all these contribute to produce a truck that drives with the kind of handling, agility, and high-speed stability that I have never experienced before in a truck at all. Okay, up until today, up until yesterday, my benchmark for most car-like behavior in pickups is the Mitsubishi Triton, and I would still say this, at that price range, the Triton probably is still the best. I have not tried the current the newly updated XLT and Wildtrak Rangers yet. Okay, but in terms of dynamics, in terms of road holding, in terms of high-speed stability, the Triton to me is the segment benchmark. Okay, the Ranger not far behind. The Raptor here, if I were to compare, it is perhaps still not as comfortable and as refined as the Triton, but that is also because you have to bear one concession in mind. This car is sitting on all-terrain tires, okay, not highway terrain, all-terrain tires. So all-terrain tires, when you drive it on tarmac, there is an inevitable performance compromise. In this car, right, it doesn't show it. I'm driving this car, okay, with the kind of enthusiasm that I have with a regular four-door sedan, and I am not even the least bit frightened by the experience at all. The car feels planted. For a car that I'm sitting quite high up above the road, I'm feeling planted. I'm feeling, the road holding is stable. Okay, engine is quiet. There is a bit of wind noise at the current speed of 110 kilometers per hour, but that's it. The driving is amazingly good. Okay, so on to the broader implications. The Raptor at 200k is actually, you are actually getting what you are paying for. Okay, and from the reactions of onlookers at the resort where we spent our night in, I think Ford is onto something with this. It would see that the market really is ready for a pickup truck that is in the 200,000 price bracket difference. Okay, but of course with the engineering and with the capabilities to justify the price tag. Okay, because let's put it this way, the actual people who would buy the Raptor probably won't be using this for the real rough and tough stuff. This is not the kind of car that you would take to, say, Borneo Safari, for example. Okay, but what, on a broader implication, what this car has is that it really, once again, in the spirit of its predecessors, the Raptor now opens the doors for pickup trucks to convincingly move into the premium segment. And what this could mean is that Ford may have opened the door for Mercedes to bring in the X-Class. Yeah. This is an impressive impressively engineered pickup truck. It is not cheap, but I can assure you one thing, the work they have done into this, they have earned that money. They earned that money, no question about it. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like my content, click on the subscribe button. Press the bell icon to toggle the frequency of updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget also to check out the channels of Bobby, Bing and Fadil, okay, of the Horizon team. And until my next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now.